This morning news, the Cowboys are not interested in Johnny Football. Article by David Moore says the Cowboys would not consider Johnny Manziel unless he gets his life back in order. So you're saying there's a chance. Or read the latest on NBCSports.com. Quarterbacks who actually have jobs, former Jet, USC Trojan, and now Philadelphia Eagle Mark Sanchez traded to the Broncos for a conditional draft pick. There are doubts as to whether Colin Kaepernick wants his job with the 49ers. He's rumored to have a desire to go to Cleveland and play for the Browns. And RG3, linked to the LA Rams, now is visited with the New York Jets. Best of the NBA today, Oklahoma City Thunder at San Antonio Spurs. They'll tip off at 8:30 Eastern. I'm Sam Farber. You're listening to NBC Sports Radio and the NBC Sports Radio mobile app.
This is KCAA.
Now, here's a new concept: digital network advertising, where businesses display your ad inside their building. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, your company is going to thrive with digital network advertising. Choose your marketing sites or jump on the DNA system and advertise with all participants. Your business ad or logo is rotated multiple times an hour inside local businesses where people will discover your company. Digital network advertising, DNA, a novel way to be seen and remembered. Digital network advertising with networks in Redlands and Yucaipa. Call in the 909 area 222-9293 for introductory pricing. That's 909-222-9293 for digital network advertising. One last time, digital network advertising, 909-222-9293.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Rinaldi. For this morning, we'll have clouds and an isolated shower, then sunshine returns for the afternoon, high 64. Partly cloudy tonight, low 46. Sunday, partly sunny, just the slightest chance for an afternoon shower, high 66. Mixed clouds and sun with a chance for a shower Monday, high 70. Can't rule out a stray shower to start today, Tuesday. Then we'll see sunshine with a high of 80. Wednesday and Thursday, bright and sunny with highs each day 84. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM and 1050 AM. The stations that leave no listener behind.
Who needs friends or Facebook when you have KCAA's Rant Line? You can get it all out at 909-353-1050 with no interruptions. Do you want to tell us how much you're learning from Dave Ramsey?
Keep your expenses down when you're a student.
Maybe you stink. You can't take a shower at your place and you really need to.
Work it down there at the largest online retailer in the United States, and they had me unloading them trucks, and I sure need a shower.
Perhaps you're having money issues.
Motel 6 ejector rates up. It used to be like $42. Now they're up to $59. Got about $4,000 in the bank, but working part-time, I don't want to whittle into that. Might need it later.
Whatever you need to get off your chest, we are here for you. Give us a call on the Rant Line at 909-353-1050 and rant. We'll listen, we won't interrupt, and we may even play your rant on this station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA 1050 AM.
Avast, you scurvy dogs!
Stand fast and prepare for boarding!
It's time once again for the High Desert Pirate Renaissance Fair. It's excitement for all ages. Pirates, mermaids, cannon battles, sword fighting, stage shows, turkey legs, vendors, historical demonstrations, and of course, beer, wine, and rum.
Yarr!
Tickets are just $10 for general admission with discounts available online or at the box office. Children 6 and under are free. Saturday and Sunday, March 19th and 20th at the fairgrounds in downtown Victorville. Buy tickets online at hdpiratefair.com.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
You just entered the Gotcha Zone. Eilon up to the start line and get ready to race with your host, Joe Britt. It's time for Gotcha Racing, live on KCAA 1050.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines and get ready for an action-packed, fun-filled hour of everything a motorhead ever loved or lived. Gotcha Racing with Joe Britt. Welcome to Gotcha Racing. This is Joe Britt. Hey there, race fans, and welcome to Gotcha Racing Live with your host, Joe Britt, at the helm at the KCAA studio, and I call it the HQ. We're in San Bernardino, California, and we are just rocking and rolling with the latest news, the latest updates on what's going on in the racing community. And I just want to say all to you race fans and all to you gearheads, hey, welcome aboard, guys. I come to you a humble man that is a reflection of God's grace and greatness, a humble man that is standing on the shoulders of ancestors. Hello, America! Look alive, California! Wake up, San Bernardino! Stand up and be counted, Inland Empire. For this is your host, Joe Britt, coming to you loud, strong, and clear from the desert to the sea, broadcasting on the powerful KCAA Talk Radio 1050 and also 106.5 FM. We're the big dogs. We are the big dogs in the IE. You know what? Our weather is kind of fickle, man. It rained like a son of a gun yesterday, and I swear there was a hurricane, not a hurricane, but a tornado that came through the neck of the woods. I mean, the wind was blowing really, really hard. Trees are falling down. Rain was coming down very hard, but nevertheless, we are here. And now, today, it's just the opposite. Looks like the sun's going to come out, start drying everything up. And, man, what weird weather we're having across this globe, dude. And some folks say global warming, and there's no such thing. You know, you guys need your head examined. Because how I see it and what I am experiencing, it has to be related to that when I was growing up. But we didn't have all these weird weather changes. One day it's hot as Methuselah. Next day it's cold. It's absolutely incredible what's going on in our atmosphere on this blue dot of ours. Nevertheless, we're here. We're here with well, I'm looking to my right, and I don't see my my young co-host. I guess we'll get him to come in some other time. Okay, let's do a little house cleaning as usual. You know, for some of you guys that are just happen to be under a rock somewhere or in a cave and just cannot hear this broadcast on our two great stations we got coming to you. You could call in and listen. That number is 832-999-1050. 832-999-1050. For those of you that would like to call into the studio and talk to me or some hosts that we have on the line, that number, the long distance call, I shouldn't give it out to you though, but it's 888-909-1050. Okay. And for the local calls, that's local. That's you guys are in California, in the IE. That number is to call in and just talk shop with me and comment on something we are talking about. 909-888-5222 or 5224. 909-888-5222 or 5224. Our podcast that we've got available for you to retrieve, you would go to our famous website, kcaaradio.com, and go to our Saturdays lineup. You'll find that on the left side of the screen, and go to Gotcha Racing Live and pick and choose. You can find us on Facebook under Gotcha Racing TV or under Gotcha Racing Live. Okay, and our website is gotcharacing.com. You want to email me anything, and for whatever reason, maybe just begging, maybe you want some shop tiles or something, maybe you want some of this slag or swag that we got from the different companies. That address would be jbritt.kcaa@gmail.com. And for you Gotcha Racing TV fans out there, that's our sister company that broadcasts most of our events in HD. It would be grtv.media@gmail.com. Okay, so today we're going to get back to the format that we were doing a little bit earlier. You know, I was at the MPMC event in Santa Ana, and so you got to hear from these manufacturers. And the thing that got off with me in a good way, folks, was the manufacturers that I was talking to that day. They're all American companies, okay? That might not mean much to you, but their product is being made in America. It's not being made overseas in China, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taipei, Taiwan. It's right here on our blue dot in our great nation, United States of America. They're help feeding the Americans, the young men and young women that are working for them. They're coming up with a great product. They're using our creative bank of knowledgeable engineers to come up with great products here. I'm not talking over there. You know, a lot of these companies, man, and it peeves me. A lot of these companies are You say, we're American, we're USA. Yeah, okay, you design it here, you ship it over there, and then you get those guys to work for pennies on a dollar, and then you bring it back this way, and my God, how goofy are we as Americans to pay top dollar for something you only pay 2 cents for, you know? I tell you, if I was the man in charge, I'd put a tariff on you guys. Really, really. I would. So you want to go over there, you want to line your pockets, you want to come bring it back over here, and we know you paid 50 cents for the product, but you're going to sell it to us for, what, $50? Yeah, I tell you what. If I were the man in charge, before you get off that boat in San Pedro, you're going to pay a tariff, and that tariff is going to be quite high. What we want to do is bring you back, guys. We want to bring you back to America, okay? We want to bring you back to the United States. We want to bring you back to all the abandoned factories we have here on this soil. Now, I know I'm a business person, so I understand what you're going through, okay? I understand the regulations and the pseudo politicians that are in positions want to tax the heck out of you, you know? So everybody on this soil in America are going to have to play. I'm not going to say play by the rules, but we're going to have to be on the same page, okay? In order for the American industry, manufacturers to come back here and make a profit, the politicians are going to have to say, look, we would rather have our Americans working instead of trying to pillage your bank accounts, and so we can fund our campaigns. Yeah, I said it. To fund our campaigns are to make our folks rich. Now, I'm not saying folks as in the constituents for the area, but the people that are pulling the strings. Oh man, am I starting a fire or something? But that's the way I believe. Okay, so I had a weird thought, and the thought was this, and I've been saying this for a couple of years now. Okay. If we can bring the manufacturers back here and put them in a 500 radius square manufacturing zone, I know this is going to be a little outrageous for some of you guys. Let's say we have the Dakota area, okay, somewhere way just on top of Utah somewhere out of the way. And we had a designated 500 square mile manufacturing zone. In this zone, the 8,000 companies that went over to Taipei, Indonesia, and even Mexico, and even Canada, bring your stuff back here, get our Americans to work. Now, within this zone, guess what? You get a heck of a tax break. Now you can make money, okay? Because the bottom line is making money. But everybody has to play for this. Everybody has to be on the same page. What are you talking about, Joe? Listen, in this particular zone, the gas that we're driving, it's very cheap. Okay, in the zone, it might be 75 cents a gallon. What are you talking about? Okay, there's no taxes added on that. Okay, the food prices, instead of you paying $6 for a steak that's been prepackaged, guess what? That steak is now 75 or $1.50. Right? Everybody has to work. So, well, how much would you pay the employees if they come to this zone, Joe? Well, let me tell you something. If everybody's playing by the rule, a guy who's making, now get this, $6 or $7 an hour. I know that's very low for some of you, but everything is reflective on the area, okay? If the housing prices were low, if the food prices were low, if the gas prices were low, it would be no need. Yeah, I mean, to pay a guy X amount of dollars, $13, $14, $15 an hour, when $6 would give the same value as someone making $55,000. Okay, so that would mean that your rent, or if you can afford a mortgage in this particular zone, so let's say a house might cost you $35,000, 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Okay, everything in this zone will be dirt rate cheap. You come there, you have no job, you got your family. Hey, we'll put you to work. We have schools there. We have medical practices. Everything is right there, but everything has to be relative, okay? No more paying $1,600, $1,800 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. No, that's gone, dude. In this area, that's the way it should be. Now, guess what? Those guys that went overseas, that took all these jobs over there, bring them back home, put Americans back to work, and let's flip this money 10, 15, 17 times in America, and then America would start to come up, meaning that now we can afford things, okay? Now everybody's working. Now everybody's happy. I'm not at your throat. You know, we're not complaining about the immigrants coming over here because everybody's working. We're not complaining about the jobs being gone. And no, everybody's working. Now, if you come out of that area to work, then hey, you come back to the same situation you're in right now. You know, your rent's $1,800, your rent $2,400 a month. You can't afford it. You got to move back home with mom and dad, you know, and I'm not going to say it's embarrassing, but that's just the way it is. I mean, you got baby boomers such as I thinking about getting ready to retire, and lo and behold, you get that knock. And the knock is your son or your daughter coming back because they can't afford what's out there right now. And when they come back, they don't come back alone. They come back with luggage, and they come back with 3 or 4 miles of feed. So, you know, everything is relative. I tell you, let's work to make America great. Okay. Now I'm not saying what Trump said. You know, Trump he's way out on the limb somewhere. He's way out somewhere. You know, and somebody need to yank his chain because he's not being presidential. But I don't want to go that way. This is not a political show. This is more about racing and jobs and business. You know, in the racing community. So, because if we can do that, we'll have much more money. We can have a lot of tracks building, and everybody can get out and enjoy themselves and instead of doing illegal street racing. See how I tie that up? Am I clever or what? Hey, Joe, let's before we have our correspondents coming in, let's go ahead and pay some of these bills here on American soil. So, hey, folks, listen, this is Joe Britt, and we are squawking to you live on KCAA Radio. That's the #1 radio station in the IE as far as I'm concerned, and we're on 106.5 and 1050 AM. Look, folks, we'll be right back. Let's pay some bills.
U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is loaded with 15 acres of used, salvaged, and rebuilt parts for your car or truck. Sure, you could go to any wrecking yard, but U&I has what it takes. Expertise, high-quality products, and the finest customer service you'll receive anywhere. U&I makes custom drive shafts, furnishes full warranties on all their parts, and keeps up on industry changes. Call 909-888-6841. You'll be impressed by the fast and friendly response from the U&I skilled staff. You can also go to the Contact Us page and request a part. U&I hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday, 8 till 3. U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is located at 1435 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. Check out the U&I webpage at the letter U, the letter I, autoparts.com, or call 909-888-6841. 909-888-6841. Oh, no.
Don't worry about a thing, pretty lady. You're in good hands with J&K Auto Body Paint and Repair. J&K Auto Body has been serving the Rialto area for years and are considered to be one of the oldest and the best auto body shops in town. The right people with the right tools and the right experience that can give you the service and the quality that you expect. 24 hours, 7-day-a-week towing is available. That's J&K Auto Body, 241 South Palm Avenue, Rialto, California, across the street from the Metrolink station. Call us at 909-875-0400, 909-875-0400. That's 909-875-0400.
Sie hören jetzt Kcaa Racing live mit ihrem Gastgeber Joe Britt.
شما در حال گوش دادن به برنامه Kcaa Racing هستی با صدای جو بریت.
You're listening to Kcaa Racing live on KCAA 1050 AM with Joe Britt. Now get to the chopper. Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, I guess it would help if I had my mic on. Thank you, Joe. And what I was saying, what I said earlier was, baby, you got it right. And that's my good friend Larry, the entertainer. You know what? Getting in racing news. Well, you know, NASCAR is coming to town. Okay, and I believe it's next week. We used to call it the California Speedway. Now it's called the AAA or AAA Auto Speedway. In Phoenix this weekend, Kurt Busch has set the pace in this morning practice, and the big race is tomorrow for NASCAR. So we shall see. One of these days, we'll probably get some credentials to get to the floor of the NASCAR and to the pit so we can talk to these guys on one-on-one. Not the drivers, because they'll be right in the mix, but let's see. Allmendinger did a lap of 136.013, and he was the fastest among the ECR engines. Wow. Joey Logano led the Ford contingency. Okay, with a lap of 135.947. No kidding. These guys are really kicking some butts up. I thought it was raining out there. Maybe that's why it's not okay. It's the speeds are not as fast as they once were. But nevertheless, we're just commenting on what I'm looking at my iPad, trying to get some information to give you guys. But nevertheless, okay, good enough. Hey, who's on the line? Okay, we have our one of our correspondents on the line. Let's talk to him. Give a little background music. Yeah. So we're talking with our road warrior. Is this Chris?
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
You know, man, I'm above ground. I have no complaints. One foot in front of the other. You know how that goes. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, that's the best way to travel, I say. Hey, so I've had people ask me over the years, what's the difference in motorcycle engines between a two-stroke and a four-stroke? And so I thought, hey, you know what? What a good thing to talk about here.
Hold on a minute. Okay. The two-stroke is a lot louder than the four-stroke. A lot louder. Most dirt bikes are two-strokes. Huh?
The older ones are. A few years back, they mandated that most new bikes, and I keep thinking it was 07, had to start becoming four-strokes for the dirt as well. And there's a reason for that.
Okay.
Mostly emissions.
Sorry to interrupt you, Matt, but I just had to get that out. Okay, go ahead.
All good. So anyway, fundamentally, and I mean, this is just basics. The difference between a two-stroke and a four-stroke. First off, a two-stroke or two-cycle engine goes through its entire ignition firing sequence in two cycles. So that is, it's a dual-chamber cylinder head. So we'll start with the piston at the top of the cylinder. As the piston drops down past the first chamber, the intake chamber, it gets its fuel and air through that chamber. There's also a little bit of air that comes back through the exhaust chamber. So it sucks in air and fuel, and then that's at the bottom of the stroke. That's the first stroke. As the piston comes back up, it compresses all that air and fuel at the top of the chamber, and the spark plug sparks and detonates and pushes the piston back down. And the exhaust gases go out the exhaust chamber, and that whole cycle starts over again in that same stroke. So what happens is between the intake of air and fuel and the firing and the exhaust, it all happens in two strokes of the piston, from top to bottom and from bottom to top. Okay? Now, in a four-stroke engine, and you're probably thinking pretty similar, this whole sequence happens in four different strokes. But here's the difference. Instead of just two open chambers, you have valves, like a car engine. Okay? So let's start at the top of the stroke. The top piston's at the top. As it drops down, the intake valve opens, draws in air, bottom of the stroke, that comes back up into the compression. The valve closes, air and fuel is then brought into the chamber, it comes up to the top. This is called the compression stroke. Spark plug fires, blows back down the piston, keeping the cycle going. That's the third stroke at the bottom. That's called the power stroke. And then as it comes back up into the exhaust stroke, the exhaust valve opens and emits all the exhaust gases. Then it immediately closes, intake valve opens, and the process starts again. So in four strokes of the piston, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, you have the entire ignition cycle. Now, as you notice when we describing that, we have valves on a four-stroke engine. Those valves are regulated just like a car with a separate camshaft that's in synchronization with the crankshaft, so each valve knows when to open and close, as opposed to the two-stroke engine, which doesn't have the valves, just open chambers. Now, if you think about this, how that all works out, the two-stroke engine is going to have a greater, say, power-to-weight ratio. There's less moving parts. It's a lighter engine. It's a faster firing engine. It tends to make the engine a little more responsive, right? It can run at higher RPMs, almost has to. It has a very narrow power band, but it's a very powerful power band for the RPM to power to weight ratio. Also, it is not capable of drawing oil out of the crankcase as efficiently. So you generally have to mix a lubricating oil in your fuel,
right,
to do this. So if you use a small engine like a chainsaw, weed eaters, and motorcycles, and two-cycle engines, generally have to have what they call a two-cycle lubricant oil mixed in with a particular ratio to help lubricate the piston inside that cylinder. Having said that, it also has a lot more emission issues. The four-stroke engine generally has also an oil pump that can pump oil, I believe it's through the compression stroke, into the cylinder and lubricate it that way. Now, having all these other components moving around, camshaft and sink, or actually it might not even be a camshaft, sometimes it can just be cam like rods for the valves, makes that engine heavier. But it also has a broader power band. You can run it down lower RPMs and you get a lot of torque and power throughout the band of RPMs on that engine. Okay, so you have a heavier engine, but it creates more power across a larger range. And it's also self-lubricating, so you don't have to mix your oil and fuel together. So it burns a little bit cleaner. That's why we've gone to a four-stroke competition bikes here in the past few years. They are a cleaner burning engine. Their technology has gotten to a point now where their power is responsive.
All right, listen. Here we go. As being a quote unquote Frankenstein engineer, you would think some of these bright cats out there dealing with a lighter motor two-stroke would eliminate the mix of oil to gas ratio, the mix, and put some type of lubrication system so it can draw some of the oil up from wherever on the motor, some canister or something, and so it would lubricate and just go through a loop as the four-stroke, the regular four-strokes would do, but it would be a two-stroke. And so now it would eliminate me mixing the ratio of gas and oil putting in the tank. Why haven't they come across that? If the two-stroke is a lot lighter and you get a little bit more power out of it, or you used to be anyway, but how come they haven't come up with that?
Well, I believe, the fact that you were talking about an open chamber, the dual-chambered piston, dual-chambered cylinder, doesn't really allow for that, because in that downstroke, it also draws air from the crankcase into that chamber as well. And I don't know if you could actually do that without it, really over flooding the chamber. Because it is, like I said, it is open chamber, and that oil might go back and probably would go back through the intake chamber and into your fuel and carburation system. And just trying to make the right balance, I don't think it would be very efficient, and probably wouldn't work at all that way. In my opinion, I don't know.
Well, you know something? I used to, back in the day, I used to design my own remote control airplanes. from scratch actually, and they flew. Remarkably, they flew. And the little motors that we were using at the time, like the 049, 052 motors, those are two-strokes.
Exactly.
So that's basically what the that is a two-stroke motor, right?
It is, but also the fuel that you're using in it is kind of reminiscent of let's say diesel. Okay, diesel is another example of a motor that operates in a well, I don't want to say a two-cycle fashion, but it kind of does. And the fuel itself has petroleum, heavy petroleum product in it. I mean, fuel is a petroleum product. That's kind of like that to say, but it also has more oils to it. So the fuel itself is self-lubricating. Same with the remote control planes. The actual fuel that you use in those are part of the lubricating system.
Right.
Right. That's in it. We don't actually have to mix it separately because it kind of already is like a premix in the sense of what it was. And it's kind of a high octane too, but that's pretty much the reason behind the mixing of the oil and the fuel is to get that lubrication, extra lubrication in there, because there's just that open chambered 2 cycles setup just doesn't do enough work to be able to pump extra oil into it.
I got you. But man, I do love the sound of those two-stroke dirt bikes, man.
And that is also why they have that higher pitch and that higher ping to them, is because they are a fast cycling engine, and you also have that intake and out and exhaust system almost happening simultaneously, as to where the 4-strokes go through complete separate cycles in regards to intake, compression, exhaust, and so on. So you get actually a whole separate by itself exhaust cycle. That is also why you end up with that higher compression engine and that 4-stroke, what they call the thump. They call them thumpers because they tend to have more of a thumping cadence to them because they're going through those extra 2 cycles.
Well, so, dude, you know something?
Anyway,
I swear, man, you're a smarty pants, dude. When it comes to bikes, I tell you, man, you are smarty pants. You know a lot about these doggone vehicle, the bikes, and
Well, like you were saying with your airplanes, I did that with motorcycles in my younger days. A lot of times, we didn't have a lot of mechanics around to take stuff to. You pretty much had to know how to do it yourself, or you couldn't do it at all.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, look, man, I appreciate you. And I appreciate your vast of knowledge. And I know the consumers and the listeners out there in this land of ours that listen to Kcaa Racing Live love to hear from you. So come on with it, man. Come on with it right now. I mean, right now, thank you for giving us some of the knowledge that you got inside of your head.
Thank you for having me on too.
Dude, it's you know what, it's my pleasure, and I can't be more happy than to have you on board with the Kcaa Racing Live crew. Thank you, Chris. I don't want to cut you off, man, but if I leave you talking, you'll talk us to 5 o'clock this afternoon.
You know I will.
Thank you, buddy. I will talk to you soon.
All right, good, right, man.
All right. Well, folks, that's Chris, our road warrior, and you know what? He's right on that. If I let him talk, he'll talk us straight up to the top of the hour. He has a lot of knowledge, but we're going to take it piece at a time. Joe, JP, my partner in crime, let's go ahead and put some commercials in, and then we have our next correspondent give you information about some tires. All right, you're listening to Kcaa Racing Live with Joe Britt at the helm and on the powerful Kcaa 1050 AM and now 106.5 FM, coming to you loud and strong from the desert to the sea. We'll be right back.
U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is loaded with 15 acres of used, salvaged, and rebuilt parts for your car or truck. Sure, you could go to any wrecking yard, but U&I has what it takes. Expertise, high-quality products, and the finest customer service you'll receive anywhere. U&I makes custom drive shafts, furnishes full warranties on all their parts, and keeps up on industry changes. Call 909-888-6841. You'll be impressed by the fast and friendly response from the U&I skilled staff. You can also go to the Contact Us page and request a part. U&I hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday, 8 till 3. U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is located at 1435 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. Check out the U&I webpage at the letter U, the letter I, autoparts.com or call 909-888-6841. 909-888-6841. Oh, no.
Don't worry about a thing, pretty lady. You're in good hands with J&K Auto Body Paint and Repair. J&K Auto Body has been serving the Rialto area for years and are considered to be one of the oldest and the best auto body shops in town. The right people with the right tools and the right experience that can give you the service and the quality that you expect. 24 hours, 7-day-a-week towing is available. That's J&K Auto Body, 241 South Palm Avenue, Rialto, California, across the street from the Metrolink station. Call us at 909-875-0400, 909-875-0400. That's 909-875-0400.
Gotcha Racing Live, heard only on KCAA, is your command center for racing news, the hottest interviews, and DIY projects. We are your destination for interviews with racers and fans, on-track interviews, in-shop interviews with engine builders, car restorers. Hear from our correspondents on live track car shows. Gotcha Racing Live. Start your engine and race on over to KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM every Saturday at our new time, 11 a.m. Gotcha Racing Live, where we put you in the driver's seat.
You know, folks, you're back with the Joe Brett Gotcha Racing Live, and from time to time we have to ruffle our own feather just like a peacock, stroke them a little bit, and that's why we put that promo on. You know, one guy I was talking to yesterday, he said, "Man, are you off the air?" I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, you know, I was trying to listen at 4:00 and you weren't there." I said, "Oh, dude, so you didn't get the memo, huh?" "What memo?" And so I said, "You know, we're in 11 o'clock now." On the Saturday mornings. "Oh my goodness," he said. "So now I can hear the great show again." So yes, you can. So, you know, there's a transitional period, and we're in that transitional period, and I'm hoping we can get the message out and the word out that we are no longer at 4:00 on Saturdays, but we are now prime time, which is 11 o'clock. So like that old what's that? Yeah, you're moving on up. Yeah, we're moving on up to the big times. Hey, folks, we have a new correspondent that I am so happy to be part of the Gotcha Racing Live team, and this guy has a vast knowledge, just like Chris. Yeah, you know what? I'm getting winners here. I am getting winners left and right. Andre, are you on the line? Andre, are you on the line? Oh, Joe. Where is my tire correspondent? Andre, are you there? Okay, Joe, let's put on, he'll probably call back. Let's put on a MPMC. There he is? No? Okay, let's put on a MPMC. MPMC, you folks, we were at the SEMA event, and talking to some of the manufacturers that I was speaking on, and we shall go ahead and put on a MPMC interview, and hopefully our tire correspondent will call. There you go. Folks, you know, this is Joe Britt, and we're still here at the MPMC media event that SEMA puts on every year. And, you know, I always try to find the diamond in the rough, and I come across these two young cats here at SEMA. It's a SEMA event, and they have a heck of a product that I know you guys, my race fans out there, would be interested in. These guys are coming from the boat industry, and they've only been in the automobile industry for 2 years. But lo and behold, I'm talking to the two primaries. It's like one is Dr. Frankenstein, and the other guy is the business end. Okay, you got to get into the story. So just listen. Hold on tight. You know, grab a hold to that seat, and we're gonna take you on a ride. We're gonna take you on a ride with some octane tied into it. You guys, Boost Stain.
Boosting.
Okay.
Boosting.
Okay, I got two primaries here. Let's talk. Let's hear from your name from the business end. What's your name?
Yeah, Anthony Caputo.
Okay. Now, Dr. Frankenstein, what's your name?
Ian Lane.
Okay. You guys are from what area of the country?
Southwest Florida.
All right. Tell me about this product. Who wants to go first?
I'll take a stab at it. No, we came from the boat industry, like you said. We needed something to offset the race fuel that we were burning going through hundreds of gallons every race, and we needed to come up with an alternative that was going to be more convenient and affordable than the race fuel that we were rolling down to the docks. So Anthony and I, when we were still in college, used the senior exit thesis as an opportunity to develop a technology that gives you the capability in a very small package to transform regular pump fuel all the way up to 116 octane if you really need it.
116 octane? How you doing that?
If I told you, I'd have to
No,
kill you.
you can't kill me. I was okay. But you said you're hitting it though, right?
Yeah, we're hitting it. We're using, the big thing behind our product is we developed a proprietary technology that is essentially a carrier that delivers the active ingredients more efficiently and effective than anybody else has really been able to do in the market, and that's why we're hitting the numbers. We're doing the third-party testing. We're proving it, and we're doing it better than anybody else right now. So that's what's going on.
Now, there's a couple of products on the market that we're not going to mention at all. They claim they're doing this, and you're telling me I can go with you. Let's say if I'm putting 92 in my tank right now, and I want to boost the level up to 105 octane.
Yeah.
Can you got capabilities of doing that for me?
Absolutely. So, there's people across the country that are customizing every aspect of their car. Why can't they customize their fuel, right? Not everybody needs 116. Not everybody needs 110. But there's a lot of people out there that need more, and that's what we're trying to give them. So as long as you use our smartphone app and put in all the variables about your vehicle, we're going to tell you exactly how much to put in. So if you have 92 and you're wanting to take it up to 105 octane, if you want to take it to 106 or 104, we're going to tell you to the ounce exactly how much to add into your fuel to give you exactly what you need. You're not going to waste money on too much octane, and you're not going to put your engine in jeopardy with too little octane. We're going to give you exactly what you want.
So you're talking about custom. I can customize my fuel source to whatever kind of driving that I want and performance that I want. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely. Why can't you do that? You're going to spend all this money customizing, putting a supercharger on your engine, putting new wheels, tires. Why do you have to be strapped to a gas station or to an expensive fuel, race fuel drum in your garage? You should be able to put a case of our product in your trunk and drive wherever you want to go, and have the fuel and the octane and the stability to be able to do whatever you want.
So let me get this correct. All right. Your formulation of elixir that are inside those cans, they're all the same. Is that right? They're all the same?
So we have 3 products right now. All have 3 separate formulas. They're all based around, different applications is really what it comes down to. There's things that...
hey, folks, you know something? These guys are absolutely great at what they do. And we're going to put this interview on, say, next week again. Boustain guys, these are absolutely young cats that I need for you to listen to and get all the information that they have with their product that they do have. Joe, we got any cool music going on? All right, let's rock and roll. Now, folks, you're still listening to Joe Britt, Kcaa Racing Live, and we have one of our newest correspondents in the tire field. And I swear we're going to get some real cool kick butt music for the weeks to come for our tire correspondent. All right, Joe, let's kind of put the music down a little bit. Andre, are you on the line?
Yes, I am, Joe.
Hey,
Good morning to you.
That applause is for you, man. Okay? Because I appreciate you, dude.
Give an honor to God who's the head of my life. And great morning to you. How you doing? The weather is pretty bad out this way.
Is that right? Well, we have sun shining out here today, and it's kind of cool. But nevertheless, you say the rain is coming up pretty good out there, huh?
Yeah, we need it, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, man, so you're our tire guru.
Okay.
Our tire guru. So what do you have for us today? What do you got for us today, man?
Okay, today is the makeup of tires. We have cast, which is a one-piece. We have a two-piece wheel, which is the barrel in the center. And then we have a three-piece wheel that is center, the outer of the ring, and the inner ring. So the first one is cast, just a standard cast wheel that's put in a mold and took out of the mold, cast aluminum. And the second one is a two-piece wheel. It's the center and the barrel, the whole barrel, the inner and the outer of the barrel, two pieces, where if you damage the wheel, you could take the outer ring off and replace it and put a new one on. The three-piece wheel is a three-piece of lip. You have the outer, which is the lip, the inner, which is the inside of the wheel, and the center. And that one, if you smash the curb or anything on the lip, you can replace the lip. But on the cast wheel, just saying if you damage that, there's no replacing it. Well, sometimes you can weld the back of it or something like that, repair it, but if it gets damaged or real bad, then you have to just replace it. Whereas a two-piece or a three-piece wheel, you can just interchange the parts. And the structure of a two or three-piece wheel is very amazing and very precise. It's an excellent makeup of wheels. Like you have the high-end companies, Lexani and Giovanni and Shanti and Forgiatos the expertise in those are just amazing. And they make your car look very nice, So if you have a unique car, I suggest a person go with a two or three-piece wheel opposed to a cast wheel.
Okay, but hold on, Andre, right there. Hold on a minute. There's a price break between those two, man, and it is significant. Okay, a cast wheel, aluminum cast wheel, you can probably end up paying say $145 a rim. Okay. Right. Now on a three-piece, I know you got to be closer to about $300 or $400 per pop. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, if you're putting the money in a car, if you're putting it in a show car, you don't want to. It's like wearing a nice suit and putting on some cheap, inexpensive shoes. So
Wait, hold on a minute. You're telling me it's like putting on a tuxedo and wearing I shouldn't say Payless shoes. I shouldn't say Payless shoes. I shouldn't say Payless shoes. But inexpensive shoes, right?
Yeah. You got on this great suit, but then you look at the shoes and you say, well, that don't go with that car. Just saying funny. You get a Bentley or something like that and you put a cheap wheel on it, it looks cheap.
Oh.
Whereas, you three-quarters of the way there, you might as well go the full distance. If you're going to put the money in the car, just make a budget for the wheels. Whereas, and Joe, on wheels, as we know, you can have a wheel that get discontinued, and you mess it up, then you got to get a new set anyway.
So I guess it's safe. If it's safe, it's always safe to buy 5,
Yeah, 5, and get extra caps. I used to tell my customers, hey, get extra caps, because they might discontinue that wheel. If you have 4 extra caps, then you don't have nothing to worry about, and that's good to do. Just get extra caps or a 5th wheel, but if you have staggered wheels, then you can't get 5. You have to get 6.
That's right.
So now you're moving up in the price,
Well, you know what?
If a guy can afford 2 or 3-piece wheels, because the craftsmanship and the elegance, and they don't go out of style. If you take a look at a wheel from 10 years ago that's a 3-piece, it looks like, it's still up to date. They basically don't go out of style.
Well, that old saying. That old saying, that old saying that I've heard before, it costs to be the boss, right?
Yeah, it costs. If you got that show car, now you have $50,000 in it, and then you put a set of $1,000 wheels on it. Hey, man, people look at the car and say, man, that car is nice, but them wheels got to go,
Oh, wow.
I see it all the time. So, but I would just say, as far as if a person can afford it, don't step outside your boundaries, but if you can afford it, get it. Because, the elegance is there, the craftsmanship. You look at the chrome and stuff like that, and you can customize it to the width that you want. Like a 3-piece, you have like Ashanti and them and all the high-end companies, you can adjust the width. I mean, the length, you can put a 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch, 15-inch in the back. Whereas a standard cast wheel, you only could go with what they have.
Right, I can understand that.
The big companies, the elegant companies have where you can design your own wheel to the specs that you want. So it costs, but you're going to be unique too.
Okay.
If you have this custom car.
The last time I was we were in Richmond together, and I saw one of your young pups up there, and he had a Fox body, and this guy is he's a Frankenstein dude, and I don't have that much time, but he put 20 SRT Dodge wheels from a Chrysler 300C 08 on a Fox body 92 Mustang, and I was impressed. I didn't think they would fit, and they look really, really nice. I think I'm gonna go that route, man.
Right. He put that 20x9 with the 515 bolt pattern, which he had 5 on the Mustang, it's 5 on 4.5, which is not that much off. So you can make it fit because the hole is bigger.
Yeah, but
so
the folks that are listening out there, all the Fox bodies come with a 4-lug. He updated it to a 94. Okay, got everything off of 94 Cobra and put it on his 92. Okay, so he can't 5-lug. He was 4 lugs, then he would turn to 5, and then he put those cool Dodge 20-inch SRT wheels on there. Cool, really nice. Andre, I appreciate your time, dude, and I appreciate you. You have a lot of knowledge. Listen, man, welcome to the Gotcha Racing Live family. I appreciate your knowledge, man, and we'll listen to you next week.
Okay. Have a blessed week.
Take care, man. All right.
Bye-bye.
Boy, we're running out of time. I wish I had more time. We have someone on the line, and at the end of my broadcast, we're getting close to the end, I open it up to the community, and I pretty much call it a community awareness. So if you have anything to say with the community, you had car shows, you had something political to say, I open up the last 10 minutes, and man, we are squeaking for time right now. So I have someone on the line. Who's this?
Good morning. My name is Darren Parker.
Hey, Darren. Darren Parker, High Desert. Darren Parker is running for the assembly in the High Desert. If I'm not mistaken, it's Lancaster, right?
Yes, the 36th Assembly District, which is basically Santa Clarita to Aliento, then across to California City.
Well, dude, I'm seeing you all over the place. Not only Darren, you're also the chairman for what caucus in the state?
In the California Democratic California Democratic Party, I'm proud to serve as the chairman of the African American Caucus, and I also serve as the special assistant to our Assembly Speaker, Anthony Rendon.
So you're in the mix, man.
Well, I think I have the ear of those that can make a difference in the community, and that's such a blessing that the Lord has allowed me to serve others by having the ear of those that can make a difference.
How strong is your constituency in the area that you're in? How many folks?
The High Desert Corridor, including the Antelope Valley, boasts of a lot of demographic changes. So the Latino population is up to about 46% from where it was when I moved up there 30 years ago, and African Americans are about 18%. So we're probably one of the most diverse regions in all of California, and especially in Southern California.
Okay. With you being in the mix the way you are, working for the speaker, what are you bringing to the table to make people sway and say, you know what, he's our man?
Well, I think the difference in my leadership style from those that are presently serving or want to serve is I'm not seeking upward office just to serve people, but I'm a servant of people. My approach has always been that of inclusion, honesty, integrity, and transparency. And because of those things, I think that finally our communities have a true voice at the table. And I think that's been the greatest asset of being able to work as the assistant to the speaker, because it's not just one voice, but I bring the voice of the people actually to the speaker and say, these are the changes that the people want. It's back to what government started off to be many years ago, as opposed to what you might see on television today.
No kidding. So, you have the voice of our great station here, and we are broadcasting. I guess we broadcast as far as Barstow, if I'm not mistaken. It might be very light in Barstow. So, do you have a platform to speak to the voters out there? I'll give it to you. What would you tell them?
Well, the platform is just this. In this year of change, especially in the high desert in our corridor, we have a unique formula that will make sure that we bring people to the table. We always talk about having a voice at the table. And many people that have been elected before and those running for office tend to follow what a small group that surrounds them have suggested. My approach is to convene meetings throughout the community on an ongoing basis, to take those members who are doing good works with our veterans, doing good works with our schools, doing good works that has to do with transportation in our corridor, and those bringing jobs, not just high-end jobs, but those jobs that trickle down to the every working family. And, we have the opportunity to actually not only step up with the table, but to change the dynamics in which government and governing is done in our area, and I'm going to champion that cause because of how we approach a people's way, a people's voice at the table, as opposed to the individual voice at the table.
Well, that's good, man. I'm proud to support you, man. You're serving the people, and most politicians out there, they get in with good intentions, and they get corrupt along the way because of power, because of money. As far as campaign, if somebody wants to donate to your campaign from the people standpoint, how can they do that?
They can go to DarrenParkerForAssembly.com, www.DarrenParkerForAssembly.com, and that's DARREN, Parker, PARKER, the word for assembly.com. That would be the easiest way, but I'm a man of the people, and so everyone that I've talked to, I make sure that they have my cell number. That's number 661-406-0862, because I think that I am the conduit. I think a lot of elected officials forget that there is just one vote out of their district and think that they are the voice of the district. I know that I'm one voice, and I need to bring the other thousands of voices collectively to make sure that there is change, not only at the top, but all the way down. And working collectively across political lines is because you sit and have dialogue, and you can agree to disagree, that you always have a point to start forward, to move forward collectively. And that's been my approach since I grew up 56 years ago in Compton. It was a village that raised the child, and I think more than ever, we need to wrap our arms back around that approach and make sure that all voices are at the table.
Excellent. I really appreciate you coming on and giving information to the constituents out there and to the Kcaa Racing leadership, viewership, and also leadership also. Thank you, man. And I tell you what, you got my support, okay? So whatever you need, just let me know, and just reach out and touch me, and let's see if I can help you, okay?
Well, I appreciate you giving me 2 minutes and 2 seconds. It's been wonderful. Like I said, as a faith-based man, we have to make sure that everyone is included in the conversation, and it doesn't matter what party or what community you come from. As a collective community, it always works better for the greater good. I appreciate your support, and I'm honored by the work that you do in the community, including this station. So you keep up the good work, and I'm right there behind you.
Thank you. All right, folks, this is Kcaa Racing Live with your host, Joe Britt. We're just really almost out of time. Actually, we are out of time. Catch us here next week, same time, same bat station, 11 o'clock Saturday. Take care of yourself. Good luck.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
Selection Sunday, fast approaching. I'm Sam Farber. Ben Simmons, potential #1 pick in the next NBA draft. He will probably never play in March Madness. SEC tournament career appears to be over as well. His LSU team destroyed 71-38 by Texas A&M in the SEC semifinals. Ben Simmons did get a double-double, 10 points and 12 rebounds, but LSU probably headed to the NIT at best, and Simmons probably still headed to the NBA draft.